all I seen was just like violence. You know what I mean? All I seen was, every male in our family, doing the recycled behavior or going through incarcerations. And when I picked up that basketball, it literally saved my life.
What's up, guys, man? I appreciate y'all, doing this with me. I mean, just to jump it off to Caron, what type of role did basketball play in your life?
Man, that's a great question. And I would say, basketball literally saved my life. Like, in my early years, I was going through a lot of adversity. My family come from Columbus, Mississippi. And we migrated up to, Wisconsin, which is predominantly white. So that was just like a different experience for us, just right out the gate. But all I seen was just like violence. You know what I mean? All I seen was, every male in our family, doing the recycled behavior or going through incarcerations. And when I picked up that basketball, it kind of like unplugged me away from that recycled behavior. So it literally saved my life. Now, I had a lot of run-ins with the law and everything, but I was able to find like my peace in, myself in the game of basketball. Marvin, how about yourself, bro? What role did basketball play?
Played a huge role in my life. Growing up, that's really all I knew. I played football for a little bit. My dad was a wide receiver. He got to play, a little bit in the NFL. So I tried it out. I tried out football, and I just stuck with basketball because I loved it so much. It was just a different feeling about it every time I would step in the gym. I loved it. It kind of put me in a space, where I had to get away from stuff that was going on at home, school, whatever. I could just go in the gym and just lock in and like just have that spot that I always know I could go to and just get better. So it played a huge part in my life. I stayed out of a lot of trouble. People didn't understand it. They always used to try to clown me for it, but I knew what I wanted to do and I saw the bigger picture. So I stayed on track and just kept going with it.
That's strong right there. My thing I want to ask both of you is, you have a large platform, both of you have amazing followers. People follow waves of whatever you put up on social media sites and everything. And I want to know, what does success look like to you?
The way I see success is being just the best version of you. It's not worrying about what anybody else is doing. So, whether if it's how good you can get as a basketball player, making yourself better as a person, helping people out, things like that. Like whatever you want to do, just being the best at it, no matter what it is. So even if you didn't make it to the league, trying to get to college, trying to get the job that you love, continuing to want to work on yourself before you can really, work on other people.
Yeah, and to go off that too, I think if you be the best version of yourself, to kind of build on that, that's when all of the money, all the other stuff that, is good to have, that's when that comes in, just from being you and not, trying to be, some you're not, or pretending to do something that, you know what I mean? To just being yourself, being the best version of yourself and living like that, everything else will come.
It's strong that you guys mentioned that because something that stuck out to me was, I got introduced to this brother by the name of Raymond Brothers, who's the president of Rock Nation now. And he hit me with a quote that stuck with me for a long time. This was right before I got drafted. He said, the roar of the crowd is not for you, it's for what you can do. And as soon as you can't do it, they'll be cheering for somebody else. I was like, man, that's deep, because this is just a speck of time that I'm gonna have this platform. And I didn't realize that till I went and joined forces with Kobe, my late great brother, God rest his soul, where he was just talking to me about the importance of our second acts. And now this is in year 3, year 4, and he's already talking about life after basketball, your second act, getting prepared for your second act. Your second act got to be better than your first, which is a sport. And my mind was just wrapped around, how can I create a legacy that's bigger than myself? How can I leave something and impact people from all walks of life? Not through the game of basketball, but just all walks of life.
You know, we're talking about where we at now and like, you know, the steps that we had to get to get to where we at. I wanted to ask y'all, like, what is one piece of advice that y'all would give, you know, to your younger self?
I'm trying to think, because my younger self wouldn't listen to, I'll just tell you like that. You know, he was a hard-headed brother, man, so he had to get it from like all type of ways, you know what I mean? But what I would say is, you know, just keep dreaming. Just keep dreaming and, you know, don't let go of the rope. Because it's easy, like when adversity hits, for people to get less inspired, less determined, less dedicated, and less disciplined. But I think that when all those things start hitting, when adversity start hitting and you're getting derailed off your track, that's when discipline has to take over. So that's what I would say specifically to my younger self, is just like stay disciplined in those times and stay true to the mission.
If I could talk to like my younger self, like middle schoolish, around that time, where I was hard-headed, it was to just stay focused, I would say. Like I was a good student as far as getting grades and stuff, but I was in DMC, ISS. Hey, even in high school, like I'm getting recruited. I got Cal and Bill Self walking through the school, y'all. Sometimes I'm still in ISS. Like I was committed to Kentucky at the time, and I'm still getting ISS. Like I got my car taken away and stuff in high school. Like things like that was happening. So I would just say, just stay focused on whatever it is.
For me, it's kind of along what Caron was talking about as far as I would just tell my younger self to just keep going. You know, you're gonna hit points where you got to make a decision. Like you got to make a decision on how you gonna, you know, keep pushing forward. How you know, if you wanna, you either go left, right, you go off track, wherever you know what I'm saying. You got to make a decision on whatever you're doing and just keep going, man. Because I know I'm experiencing it right now with the past couple of years. You know, the injuries I've been having, the time that I've been missing on the court, just from things that I really can't control. And that can get tough at times, but having that mindset to keep pushing through it and keep going and get to the other side, and you'll get to where you want to be eventually. But I wanted to ask you guys, have you found like your purpose? I know we all successful, but have you guys found your purpose in life and like, you know, what you want to do and you know, how you want to do it?
I would say I don't think I have just yet, because I think that I'm still finding that purpose. And just knowing that that's something that I want to do. And I think that would also help me to continue to be a better me. You know, just being able to help people who are homeless, you know, find shelter, and people who are hungry be able to, you know, eat and not have to worry about, you know, where their next meal is coming from. I think that's where, you know, I'm starting to go, and that's where I feel like I'll really start to, you know, feel like I've found my footing in life. Obviously, you know, being in the NBA and, you know, making a lot of money and all that is something else, but I don't feel like, you know, that's my purpose in life, to just, you know what I'm saying, put a ball through a hoop.
Yeah, I think early on for me, you know, symbolic recognition is something that we become slaves to, right? Headlines, stories, things like that. So for me to, you know, be a successful basketball player, to be a champion in this league, and to, you know, make a seamless transition into like business stuff, like where you're franchising, where you become an author, where you doing production, where you're doing all these different things. Now you've shown that you can pivot in your act two and do all these things. But now I think, to both of y'all points, it's really about legacy. And it's really about being able to be respected, and being respected from the visual that you've shown and how you conducted yourself through these situations and how you navigate it, and being able to go back and, you know, plant those seeds and pour back in. But I'll be remiss to not mention, you know, it's three Black men, you know, sharing this platform today, and not talk about, you know, all the isms, all the things that we're seeing in the world, and how we can continue to move the needle on social change and make sure our imprints are there. You know, I participated in a lot of marches I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. My grandparents talked to me about it, things that they did in the South. My granddad marching Selma, but nothing like this. Over 50 states, over 30 countries, people from all walks of life joining hands, showing empathy, for, the casualty of Black lives. And I want to just know as Black men, like, how are you feeling? Are you all right? What are you trying to do to like continue to make sure that these conversations aren't getting swept under the rug?
I'm gonna be honest. When I see all the stuff that's going on, I get in this space where I feel angry. It's great to see, like you said, the world coming together, to support something like this, because it's been going on for ever since I can remember. But now it's just more attention being brought to it, and everybody's coming together. And I'm just trying to, like I said earlier, just do my part. Whether it's supporting Black-owned businesses, just whatever I can possibly do. I don't have it all figured out yet. I'm still, going through my journey and trying to figure out what I can actually do to help and make a change. But it's definitely a process and a journey that I'm willing to take and stand for.
Yeah, and with that, like we've talked about this like a little bit as a team before, and thinking like, the only way, it can truly change is to change people's hearts. The people who feel that type of way about, a certain group or whatever it is, because obviously it's not just happening in America, it's happening all over the world, is you have to try to change people's hearts. Because unless you can do that, then, it's not going to change too much besides, trying to make the justice system, all over the world better.
The reason why I'm hopeful is because people like y'all educated, y'all informed, and y'all know what to do, what y'all call to action should be with y'all platforms. Like just the fact that all of you guys got out there in March when we had a stoppage in play before the bubble and lended not just your money and your resources, but physically being out there, that meant a lot. And I just don't want y'all to ever think that did not go unnoticed, because that spoke volumes. Y'all the new ancestors, and y'all got to continue to hold on to that rope and continue to, shape the new narrative and to shape the new world of what y'all want to see. So as one of the OGs in the game, I'm watching from afar, but I'm proud of y'all. And, just keep that momentum, man, and keep schooling and educating these young brothers coming into the league the same way.
Was definitely great. I had fun being able to have this conversation with both of you guys, and I just want to say thank you.
No problem, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me.
I'm better from this discussion. Appreciate y'all.